I I've come here to tell you my story, but I think first I have to begin with death. You know, sometimes death is it's not unexpected. We see our loved ones growing weaker and feebler, and we know the end is in sight. And even though we grieve, we can at least celebrate the life that they have lived. You know, sometimes death is so sudden. Things happen and we grieve and we are so hurting because of our loss. And I think for me, one of the hardest things to accept is how dangerous it is just to enter life. Why is there so much death in childhood? And yet with all these things, there is a sense to it that this is a pattern to life, things that at least we understand the cycle in some way, even when we hurt. But this was something completely different. This was the death of a good, righteous man. No, this wasn't just a righteous man, a prophet sent from God. Of course, I'm talking about Jesus of Nazareth. You know, I remember that day that Cleopas came home and he told me that he had heard this amazing rabbi in the marketplace. Well, now I am the first to admit that Cleopas tends to get excited by every new thing that comes along. But you know, listening to him was different. There was something about the way he talked that drew me in, and I thought, yes, I want to go hear this prophet. So I did. When Jesus spoke, it was completely different than anything I had ever heard before. He spoke with such authority. When Jesus spoke, it was as if he was so close to God and God was so close to him that he was sharing with us the very words from God's own heart. Jesus taught us so many things about the way to live. And he could explain scriptures in a way that I had never heard before. And I have to tell you that after that, I wanted to hear more. And it wasn't just him speaking. He had God's power within him. Do you know, there's a man in our village who has been lame since all the time that I have known him. And Jesus touched him. And he got up and walked. I mean, I've known this man since he was a child. And he was now walking. Well, Cleopas and I decided we needed to hear more of Jesus, and we started following him wherever he went, as far as we could travel. But we would go in our region to hear him and sit and listen. And you know, we met others who were following Jesus. And after Jesus would leave the area, we would stay and talk more together, and discuss the things we had heard, and we'd pray together, and we'd have meals together, and it was wonderful. You know, we tried to help as much as we could, sharing with the others in our group as they needed, and you know, we would give what we could to Jesus and his followers to help them and support them as they went from place to place. And these were the best years of our lives, being around Jesus and sharing with the others who felt the same way, and to learn so much and to feel our lives growing and changing and knowing that we were becoming happier and deeper in faith than we had ever been before. But then there was that day that there was a knock on the door. And someone came to tell us that Jesus had been arrested. Arrested. This good, righteous man arrested. So we quickly left to go to Jerusalem, and by the time we got outside the city gates, we learned that we had gotten the news too late. That Jesus had already been tried and convicted and was even now hanging on a cross. And we've all seen a Roman crucifixion. We know what happens. And we stood there in the street just feeling like all of our hope, all of our dreams had just drained out of us. But then this man, who was one of the followers, he saw us in the street, and he came running up to us, and he said, "You have to come with me. We have to hide. The soldiers are looking for all of the followers of Jesus." And so we went with him, and he took us to this upper room, and there were other followers there, and they were hiding, and so we joined them, and we waited. We waited, not knowing what to do. Talking, crying, asking why over and over and over again. All that night, all the next day, all the next night. Those were long hours. Then, on Sunday morning, someone came to tell us that some of the women had gone to the tomb. You know, Jesus had been buried so quickly that the burial rites had not been able to be finished, and so they had gone to finish preparing his body. But when they got to the tomb, they said that the stone had been rolled away, that it was empty, and they said that they had seen angels, and angels said that he wasn't there. Well, I have to tell you, because it was the women, some of the men were like, "Oh, well, we don't know if this is true," so they had to go to the tomb for themselves to see. And so they go, and then they come back, and they say the same thing. They say the tomb is empty, and they say they saw angels, and they said Jesus wasn't there, that he was risen. And it was like, but that doesn't make any sense. How could Jesus be alive? And if he's alive, where is he, and why hasn't he come to see us, and what are we supposed to do, and where are we supposed to go? And it just went on, and there were so many questions, and everybody had ideas, and nobody had any solutions, and we just talked, and finally I just turned to Cleopas and I said, "Let's go home. Let's just go home." So we left. And as we were leaving Jerusalem, we started walking out of the city, and this man came up and joined us. And he said, "Why are you so sad? What are you talking about?" Okay, now I have to tell you, Cleopas is normally not an angry man at all right? But we had had very little sleep, and it had been so traumatic, everything that had happened, and so Cleopas sort of snapped. And he's like, "Are you the only one in Jerusalem who doesn't know what's happened? We're talking about the death of Jesus of Nazareth, a prophet sent by God, and someone that we had thought would be the Messiah to save Israel. But our authorities, the Jewish elders had turned him over to the Romans, and he had been crucified." And he said, "But Jesus was the one that we had hoped for." And this man with us said the strangest thing. He said, "Why are you so foolish? Why are you so slow to believe everything the prophets have said?" And he started talking, and he started with Moses, and he just started talking about scripture and sharing about the coming of the Messiah and what the Messiah would mean, and how the Messiah for Israel would have to suffer and die and come back to life. And as he started to share all this, we just hung on every word. I lost all sense of time, and suddenly we looked up and we realized we were almost home, so we started to turn down the track to our village, and he started to go on the other way, and we said, "Wait a minute, what are you doing? Come with us, come in, sit, eat, stay with us tonight." And he said, "Right." So he came back to our home with us, and I quickly gathered some food together, and we sat down at the table, and before we could start, he took the bread, and he blessed it, and he broke it. And he gave one piece to Felix, and one piece to me. And as we took that bread, reached out our hands and touched it, we knew. We knew this was Jesus. And he was alive. And okay, I do not know what happened, but just in that moment, like he was there and then he was gone. And I can't explain it, but Cleopas and I just looked at each other and said, how did we not know? How did we not see? And Cleopas said, think about it. All that time that we walked back from Jerusalem, was not your heart just burning within you, listening to him? It's, yeah. And then we looked at each other in that same moment. You know how it is. You know, you look at each other and in the same moment we said, we got to go back. And so we did. We immediately left and went back to Jerusalem. And you know, our first trip there, I felt so heavy, so hard. And this time it was so light. And we went as fast as we could. And we got to that upper room. And you know what? They were still there. They were all there, and everybody was talking still and asking the same questions. But Peter was there, and Peter was saying that he had actually seen Jesus now. And we came in and we were like, yeah, he's alive. We've seen him too. And so we told our story, and we were sharing about Jesus being with us. And I have to tell, okay, I don't understand how this happened again. And I don't know, maybe we were just so involved we didn't see the door. Or maybe there's something else that was going on. But anyway, Jesus was suddenly there again with us. And Jesus says to all of us in the room, he says, peace be with you. Peace be with you. I need to say that at that moment, it was not very peaceful in that room. There were some people gasping, some screams, somebody yelled out, it's a ghost! And Cleopas and I were like, no, it's not a ghost. Jesus is alive. And then Jesus said to us, why are you so troubled? Why are you so troubled? And why do doubts arise in your hearts? Why indeed, Jesus? Why do we let doubts arise in our hearts? My story began with death, but it ends with life. Life beyond anything that we could ever dream or imagine.